All right, so we are going to talk gamification today, which Julie had this question in the pop-up group when we were talking about like what would you want on your website. And so I'm gonna have to mute myself real quick. And there are definitely ways to do, gamification with different tools and custom coding. And there's things I'm sure I don't even know about, but I'm kind of like, how can I bend the rules or bend the tools in the best way to get stuff accomplished without needing to go crazy, especially when, as I've learned, gamification is not as simple as you think it is at all. Sabrina knows this. There's gamification that you put a ton of energy into and it ends up being completely lame because you didn't know what to think through. That actually is what generates the excitement behind gamification. And so you put all this energy into it and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do because honestly, you didn't even know the right questions to be asking. And then there's easy gamification where you're like, you go from the purpose behind it and it might just be one or two little things. There's Julie, the instigator for all this. Hey, Julie. And it works beautifully because you did think out the whole, entire process. So as we are going through this, we'll start with our favorite whiteboard. Feel free to ask questions. I'm sure this won't be the last time that we talk about this at all. And for anybody watching the replay, this is part of our live fall pop-up group. And so you'll see people on camera, off camera, and you basically can be a fly on the wall as we are talking about this. So the very first thing, and I'll make sure I give you guys the link, one of the best books that I have read on this, and I'm still studying, is called Actionable Gamification by Kajabi. So let me write that down just so you guys have it. And it's thick. I mean, it is a big book, but he knows his stuff and can tell you like the reasons and the purposes behind it. So this, if you are wanting to travel down this path, learn more about it, really builds in stuff that ends up working for what your purpose is. Highly, highly, highly recommend that book. Now, when we're starting, you always want to be thinking about where is the gamification that you're trying to insert? Where does it fit in your North Pole to New York City? So for people that have been around me for a while, I tie everything North Pole to New York City. It is the basic foundation of every single one of our sales structures, sales funnels, whatever you want to call it. North Pole, cold traffic, igloos, snow, that is our read magnet. So over here is your read magnet. And the goal is to get them to New York City where they're spending money as fast as possible. So the LM is abbreviated for lead magnet. That's when you opt in. And then your intro product is really the first time someone buys from you. Other names for this that are very common are tripwire. I also call it a lily pad to help people jump from opting in to purchasing New York City. Sometimes they need a little in between. And then New York City, often, but not always, is typically more expensive than the intro, but it does not have to be. It can be reversed. You could have someone buy a $2,000 course here and then follow that up with a $50 a month membership over there. When we're looking in the context of gamification, we have to know, where are we putting the gamification? Are we putting gamification at this stage, which is lead magnet, which are people that are subscribers, in which case the gamification should enhance and help getting them to purchase? Are we putting the gamification at the intro step, in which case, what is the purpose? Because the purpose multifold. The purpose could be encouraging moving to NYC. The purpose could be engagement with either you, others, or the content. It could be, you know, personal achievement of something, but that's why it's really important to know what is the gamification I'm talking about and where do I want to put it. So I'll open it up to you guys. For those of you that are thinking about gamification, do you have a spot that you're already thinking about where you'd like to put it?
I have an idea.
Okay, go for it.
So I have a membership, and that is my intro product, and it is $59 a month. It's a coaching membership. I would like to lead them into my NYC, which are private 2,000 plus one-on-one sessions. So they get a taste of my coaching in the membership. They with all of the engagement we have in there, I then introduce them to my style of coaching, and then they sign up for one-on-ones. So in the intro, in the membership, I have my signature course in there. And what I've done, actually what I'm thinking of doing, and it's pretty confirmed in my brain right now, but I'd like your feedback, Tamsin, or anyone else on this call, that as they finish the 4-module course, I then provide them with either a 30-minute one-on-one opportunity with me, because right now it's group coaching. They do not have one-on-one opportunities with me right now. So get them to engage in the signature course, which is the foundation of our work together. So it's really important that they grasp the principles of what I'm showing them in the membership. And that's why I put in the signature course in there. So as they're done with that final module 4, I'm going to then unlock, maybe put another module in there, unlock an opportunity to set up their one-on-one strategy session with me, so that they get a taste of what it's like to work with me personally, not just in the group coaching setting that they see me do on a weekly basis, but now they get my full attention. And then hopefully that will grab enough attention for them to go and sign up for a one-on-one package with me. So that's what I'm thinking of doing in the membership, and then really introduce them to who I am, and then show them, get them some so that they can go hire me.
Very cool. You're actually doing multiple levels of gamification just in that very simple step. What is the, what do they have to do to unlock it? Just complete all of the modules?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And in each module, I created some assessments in there through Kajabi.
Okay.
Survey tools. It's not hard work. It's just awareness. So they'll finish a lesson, and then I have a very simple assessment, and then I have emails that are triggering after each assessment is completed. But the whole course is open, so I don't have it tripped to where if they finish module 1, then module 2 is unlocked. No, I have the entire mini course open.
Got it.
But the idea is once they're done with, and I don't know if that makes any sense in Kajabi, I may not be able to do that. I may have to have a sequence of unlocking modules, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what I'll have to do, is change that up so that way module 5, which is the golden key opportunity, the opportunity to have that session with me. So I think I'm going to have to do that though, right? Module 1, they complete that, then module 2 will be unlocked, and then 3, and then once they're done with 4, they get the golden ticket.
Yeah, there's definitely different ways that you can set it up, but yeah, for the locking mechanism, that's more what you need to have.
Then I will have to do that. Okay.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to weave, as we go through the Kajabi screens, now I'll know, we'll weave in your gamification as I'm talking about it. And that's a perfect spot to put in gamification, because really it's easy. And it is accomplishing your purposes, which that's the other really big piece. What is the purpose behind the gamification? Being able to specifically articulate, I want to introduce them to what I'm going to provide in New York City, which is exactly what Denise said. New York City is one-on-one. Well, how to introduce them to going from a signature course that's in a membership over to New York City. It's encouraging participation, it's encouraging completion, all of the things that you also want in your membership is people completing, engaging, interacting, because if they do those things, we all know they're going to be more successful. They're more successful, like the whole thing starts churning, and it built, like you're building in multiple layers. Other people that are thinking about gamification and where you might want to put it in. We'll take another one and then we'll kind of move into other screens.
I have something to say about it.
Yeah.
My gamification that I have been focusing on is to help my students complete all the lessons. With so many online choices, a lot of students, they sign up for courses and then they don't finish it, and then they don't feel that transformation. So I have assessments that trigger an automated email, and along the top of the email, I have 15 badges. So it's a bar of badges, and they're black and white for the ones they haven't earned, but as they earn it, then they turn in color. And then I have the email that says, you just earned this badge. So that's the only way I've been able to figure out so far to have them feel like they are progressing and earning badges. I would love any other suggestions for something more.
How did you make your badges?
I went to Canva. And
okay, so they're static images that as they progress?
Images. Yes, yes.
Woman after my own heart. I was so hoping you were going to say that and not say, well, I custom coded it in this, because I was like, I have a really horrible way of doing it. And
I tried.
You are awesome.
All over, and I asked for help, for Kajabi help, to see if there was a way that the moment they finish something, then I could have some, you know how there's one pop-up at the very, very end?
Yeah.
I asked, is there a way I could have a pop-up per lesson pop up and say, you just earned this? But so far, they only have the one at the very end of the whole thing.
So true, which is why we bend the tools like Canvas static images into our email, and it looks like, well, look at that. You got your badge. Isn't that so awesome? Awesome.
Can I just get a bit of clarification on that? So the email is automated to deliver?
Yes. As soon as they finish the assessment, then the automated email appears in their inbox. What I would prefer is if it was more immediate, because I think immediate gratification is a stronger reward, but there hasn't been a way yet.
So that's automated for, sorry, the sound went in the middle. Was that automated for the email through tagging them, passing something, doing something?
Yes, it is automated. As soon as they finish the assessment, then the email.
Related to the assessment. Got you. Sorry, I was thinking. Yep. Okay, got it.
You're good. Which I will pop over there just so that everybody can see it. Can you guys see the test site? Okay. So
hey Tamsin, can I just ask really quickly as far as what gamification is? I have found that it works really well for me if when I'm buying someone else's product, or if it's free. I mean, if they put a time limit on it, so you're told when you get it that it disappears after a month, that really encourages me to use it. And I'm wondering, is that considered to be gamification? And also, if you do a quiz, which sounds fun, is there any aspect of gamification in having them do a quiz?
Yes, there is. So I'll give you a, where is a definition, which really gamification to me is get someone to do something more easily. I apply it to my children every darn day. How in the world can we gamify this? So whatever it is that you're doing to make someone else do what you want more easily for their benefit, for your benefit, to me, that's gamification. A definition is the application of game concepts to non-game situations, often to nudge, or what I would say, accelerate wanted behavior. So I, to me, it's the, carrot, like motivate by a carrot versus, hitting things with a stick. So anything that motivates, accelerates, nudges, any of those pieces have elements of gamification. What I think most people will think of is I'm earning points. There's a leaderboard. There is, I get a badge. All of those pieces that often feel, for many people, like, oh my gosh, I could never instigate that. I could never, like, I don't know how to turn it on. Really simple things like Valerie was just saying, you finish the assessment, I put a Kajabi automation, it sends an email, it's a Canvas static image, which I'll show you in, makes my heart swell with joy because that's exactly what I, do. I don't have them on my own, but I have one client that does it that way. I'm like, let's just use static Canva images. You gray out all the badges and then you color them. So you might have 15 different badge things as they're unlocking. They don't have to know it's a Canva static image. They're happy, they're all over the place. Let's see, before I jump on that. So how do you turn them gray to color? Which I think, yeah, Valerie, she just answered that. She created a static image with the 15 badges and created 15 versions for the 15 emails, the lessons they finished in color, the badges yet to earn. Valerie, would you be willing to share your screen and open up Canva? Can you do that?
Yeah, hold on, let me bring it up and then I will.
Perfect. Yeah, Julie, I'm with you. So brilliantly simple. Like, I don't need to be a master coder. I can do Canva, black and white to color, and it accomplishes. Voila. It's like when we're in grade school, we love those certificates. Get your cool certificates. And then Valerie, while you're pulling that up, I'm going to just go into Kajabi, show them how they can turn that on. So you just let me know when you are ready.
Okay, I am ready.
Oh, she's ready. Okay, that was fast.
All right, let me share my screen. All right. So let me take you down to I'll take you down to a black and white one. Can you see this all right?
I can.
Okay, it takes a little bit for them to load up all the images. So I used an email header for my sizing, and I have 5 core classes, and then I have A/B classes under each one. So that's why it's 1A, 1B. And then the badges tie to what the essays were about. This is for essay writing for middle schoolers. And so whatever the theme was that we were going to write about, that's what ties to the badges. And so you can see they're black and white. These are ones they haven't earned. And then the ones in color are the ones they have.
And then you just tie each banner image to the email tied to the assessment in Kajabi.
Yes, so the email will be, this will be the header, and then I'll say you just earned, and then I'll have a picture just of the badge they just earned, and talk about what they learned in that lesson. Because mine's for middle schoolers, so I want to motivate the middle schoolers, but often the emails will go to the parents. So this also is for the parents to see what their middle schoolers are up to.
That's awesome.
Those are beautiful.
That is awesome.
I'm really proud of them. Canva is my best friend because I am not a graphic designer at all. So I'm really proud of them.
Canva's the best. I think Colleen is in here. Canva is Colleen's happy place too. Oh, Kate's too.
I love Canva.
Yep. Oh, yeah. This is so the easy. Oh, Sabrina, go ahead.
On the email, so you got the size on the email, but then each badge was some icon that you put in there?
So when I saved them, I saved in Canva, I made email headers, and then I also made individual badges. So I saved them as 2 different files. So in the email, I put up the badge on top of the email. Then I wrote some of my text. This is the badge that you just earned. And then I just have the separate file that's just the badge itself.
Okay, so Canva does have the templates with the badge or something like that that can be used as a badge.
No, do you want, I mean, let me see if I can remember. Oh, so here, do you want me to share my screen and just show you what goes into one of the badges?
Go for it.
I don't know if we have time, Tansen.
Okay.
You're fine. Everyone finding this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, thumbs up. Go for it. Go for it, Valerie.
It's great.
Okay. So these are the email headers. Let me see if I can. So each badge, let's see. Let me just go down the bottom here, and I'll copy one, and then I can take it apart for you. Let's copy this one right here.
You get a bonus Canva lesson with today's Daily Live.
So
Thank you, Valerie.
You're so welcome. I searched and searched to figure out a way to gamify, and this is the best I have been able to come up with so far. So you could see the different parts of the badge.
Oh, wow. It's a lot.
So it took some time, but they went faster as I just copied and then just changed out the colors. So once you get the one badge figured out, then you just copy it. So I have the blue border, and then I have the orange that goes in the center, and then I have the black border. It just needed to have a little more badgy look, like a
Okay, I got it.
And then the center, and the black ones, I mean the black and white ones without color, they actually do have some color, just the outer borders have color, but then you can see the difference when I colored them.
Brilliant. Love it.
Thank you.
I might have something to add to my dashboard there, Tamsin.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you sure do. Yeah, I'm motivated. The badgy look is awesome. Really. I was so motivated by stickers as a kid. Give me stickers, give me a chart. Let me fill it up. My oldest is not quite as motivated by stickers as I would like. The dude is motivated by money. Whew, stickers, come on, let's gamify this just a little bit.
What was the dimension you had on those, just out of curiosity? That was really nice because it's just like a long strip, correct?
Yes, let's see. It is 600 by 100 pixels.
It's awesome, Valerie. Absolutely awesome. And then your trigger is when the assessment is completed within a product, like where their lesson is?
Right. Well, on Kajabi, the assessment I use, I remind them of everything their homework needs to include, and then they upload, then they have an upload place where they upload a picture of their paragraph. And as soon as that is done, that's when, even before I've had a chance to look at it, because the checklist tells them what they need to do. The assessment, I mean, the badges, they just earn by doing it. And then I send out a personal email and say, you did these things great, work on this thing.
Love it. Love it. So let me open up Kajabi. And there's so many ways that you can send this out, guys. So if you haven't yet used automations, they're underneath your marketing tab. They're also at the origination location. So you can go into your offers and the automations are there. Go into your forms, automations are there. Go into your emails, automations are there. But just to give a big overview, you go into automations here and you can click new automation. It'll take a minute. And you choose your trigger right here. Let's see, can I do? So I can choose assessment is completed, or I could say post is completed. Then you do this one. Is that right, Valerie? Send an email.
had to think for a moment on, oh, yes, that's where I do it.
Perfect. So here, get rid of this. Then you use your image, right? You put the image in. Pick an image here. Really big. You earned completed ABC. You can add in anything you want. Click save. And then that will be in there, right there. So it's a really easy way to bring in gamification with amazingly cool looking badges that you then, send out, and you can do it when the post is completed. You can do it anywhere in the entire realm. The big piece is knowing where is it fitting in what you're doing, which Valerie knows exactly where she wants it to fit. As they're completing individual lessons, we're rewarding the behavior. You can also use it in, Julie, yours was a month-long challenge, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So yours, is it paid or is it at your lead magnet stage?
There are two versions. One is the free version, which is sort of lead magnety. It's not it's not ideal because it's a bit long, but yeah, so there's that one where I want people to feel successful and invested in the community. And then there's a paid version where they get much more content. And at that point, I want them to be, I guess I hadn't thought about this before you raised this, so thank you. At that point, I want them more invested in the community, and I really want them to feel successful. Gotcha. And there's a little bit of gentle competition, I guess, because they want accountability.
Right, we'll go with that. And yours is more of there's a check-in element, right?
Yes, because they have to write a story every day.
Okay. And is that what they do at the opt-in stage too, in the free version?
Yes. They just don't get as much support from me.
That's totally good. That is totally good. And are they in Kajabi in the lead magnet part, or are they?
Currently not. It's currently on a WordPress site. I'm kind of new to Kajabi. So my membership part is, but everything else is on WordPress.
Gotcha. That is easy enough. And you're still trying to figure out ways to gamify it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to, because it's a challenge, it seems like natural that you would have rewards and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's the perfect. So if you guys can you see these are kind of hard to read because I just copied them from my Trello board. But these are, when we're talking about gamification and we know, okay, this is where, and I'll just put it on this screen so you guys can see it. When I know, okay, where is my gamification going? Where is, what is its purpose? What am I trying to do? So let's say at the lead magnet phase, and we'll use Julie as an example for right here. So we're wanting to encourage encouragement. Is there gentle competition at the lead magnet stage? Like, do they know each other exists enough to have competition or no?
Currently, it's just, they just leave comments in the blog comments if they want to. I'd like to give them a reason to come back every day more than that.
Got it. Comments on the blog. So there's a level of interaction there. So you want to encourage them. You want to encourage the interaction. You're going to encourage the accountability. So as you're laying out those purpose elements, now you can look at, and these are straight from Yu Kai Chow's book, which is Actionable Gamification. And these are his core drives. Now, not every game will have all 8 drives, but what you have to be thinking about is how are these tying in to one of the drives? Or it's like this, the silly, this is a reward program that does nothing for me. The points that you get on boxes of diapers, and then you have to clip the little things of points and take it to the computer. And if you get 10 million points, you can get a free toy. With my first child, I think I dutifully cut out the little things and I was saving them up. And what mother in their right mind has time to log into pampers.com and enter my points and then have time to come back and shop for stuff that's just going to make a mess in my house? It's not a really good loyalty program. Been buying the diapers now. We're going on 9 years total because my youngest is just getting out of them. Stupid program. For me, did nothing. So it was one like, oh, we have this amazing rewards program. It did not tap into epic meaning or calling for me. 0. But that's one of the core meanings is what you're developing. Is there an epic meaning or calling to what you're doing? Another core is the development and accomplishment. So development could be for Julie. They're developing their writing skill. They're developing a behavior. Valerie's is accomplishment and development. They're developing, and in the development, they're also accomplishing something. So it's tying into that core value, core drives. The empowerment of creativity and feedback. They're uploading, they're receiving feedback. That's a core desire. Ownership and possession. Social influence and relatedness. This can be when you've got people, it doesn't do anything for me, but that the proof thing, such and so bought the thing from such and so, like on the sales pages, that proof plugin thing, that's gamification. It's saying, hey, look at this is popular with all these other people. So that element of social, social influence and relatedness. Could also be, social media, comments on posts, sharing posts, how many posts, the little add this or share this, things that get likes. Scarcity and impatience. There's only one gold trophy. First one here gets it. That motivates my oldest big time. Unpredictability and curiosity, loss and avoidance. So those are, and there's lots of pieces that Yukai Chow has focused on where that could show up and what it could look like, which is honestly where my brain starts exploding as I read it. I'm like, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Static Canva images are just fine. Just hand out some stickers. Call it good. Yeah, Nora.
So a quiz might be the curiosity one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're curious what am I going to find out about myself if I take the quiz? Mm-hmm. And limiting access to a very inexpensive or free product, it would be the scarcity, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was really interested in Denise's example. Which ones of these are coming up for hers?
Epic meaning and calling, because of this. The signature course takes them through my success path, or more like it's not the success path of the membership. It helps them prepare mentally for the next level of success. So a lot of awareness, right? So they're looking at meaning and calling. They're developing themselves. They're also, my people are super high achievers. They're high performers. So I think they need that feeling of accomplishment, empowerment of creativity, and definitely feedback for them. So they're finding awareness around their strengths. I think ownership and possession too. Scarcity and impatience. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but again, the purpose for them is to finish this, have them develop or gain awareness around their thinking, their habits, their actions, and then giving them access to me one-on-one for a short bit of time. But again, my purpose on this end is to get them to do my NYC $2,000 plus coaching packages. So yeah, I hope I answered your question, Nora. You caught me off guard.
No, I'm
got
trying
called
to make it all fit and work. And that was really, really helpful. I'm wondering for people who aren't really accomplished, who maybe don't have a lot of confidence around something like, eating healthy for, a week in a row and learning a new skill around, cooking or stopping eating earlier in the day or whatever it is. What would be one or two of these that you think would help someone to just build some confidence rather than, in your example, women who are really accomplished already and feeling confidence already? Anybody have some idea?
I would say cheerleading, especially from you. Having a way where as they finish things or as they are progressing, that you are able to cheer them on. Because especially in your niche where you're dealing with adults, you're dealing with people that are trying to change, things that they've done their whole life or change the way that they think about things. They may not be ready at the beginning to be posting in social forums. Hey, I did XYZ thing. It's kind of like, standing on the corner without any clothes on. Like, yeah, a little too exposed. But I think that the cheerleading element from you and the checking in element from you, where yes, you could have things like an assessment that then lets you know, hey, such and so completed this. I think for you, other than just a static badge type of a, core thing, I would send them a voice message. Hey, way to stinking go. I am so proud of you. That was phenomenal. That for your person will be epic. I mean, they'll feel like they have somebody in their corner. So that's what I would do, especially when people are trying to learn new traits or new skills, or they're in a new environment.
Yeah, I was going to say,
video.
I'd like to add, especially if they're learning a new, like you said, Tamsin, learning a new skill, help them, number one, find awareness around that new skill that you're showing them or wanting for them to make a habit into. So gamify that, and then gamify the actual practical use of your information, so that they go and put this into practice, and then they, you gamify that as well. Because for me, it's all about helping my members find awareness around how they're thinking, not what they're thinking, how they're thinking, and then create habits around some new belief systems so that we can anchor that in them. So there's a really cool book on habit forming. I think I may have gotten the idea from you, Tamsin, the recommendation from you. There's a really cool book on your customer, building habits in your customers. So that I created a private podcast just for them, so that I'm always at the forefront of their mind, so that they're always thinking of my membership and the content in there. I created a text messaging system as well for them. I did all these things because I want to create habits in them so that they don't, so for retention purposes, obviously. But in Nora's case, especially if you're wanting for them to learn something new and anchor it, and like Tamsin said, cheer them on all the way through, but gamify some really particular things there.
I really like the text message idea. I was looking at having them text me when they're done eating for the day to help with that accountability for not eating late into the,
Cool.
That's a great one for you, Nora.
Okay.
That's
are really helpful. Okay.
Yeah. And that is the personalized accountability that they will participate in. It's kind of, depending on what the niche is, which Nora's niche is, her site is cheatdiabetes.com, right?
Yes, that's right.
And so it's helping people with pre-diabetes. So that personal accountability with you, I think will be really strong as they know that the group is safe, as they know that they've made friends. Then they will take it outside and they'll start cheering themselves, like they will start cheering on each other. But for sure, as you start, you're going to be you are head cheerleader.
That's
For
helpful.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And the I was going to pop you guys into Kajabi, but before we do that, anybody else have other thoughts, stuff they're wanting to know? Can I do this, or where would I put it?
I'm thinking, I'm just commenting on, I'm going back to that just fantastic grayed out idea. What I think I may end up doing to that effect with my affiliate programs, this is a different purpose, but something similar, is that one thing I'm having a hard time is getting people to do all the steps. They don't understand all the steps they need to do. And when you look at something in an email and bullet points, it's just words. I'm dealing with a lot of people that, they don't want to read. And so I think it's brilliant to have actually a very simple grade, whatever. And this is like, you join the affiliate product, you have turned in your W-9, you've done whatever, so that actually they don't miss, you've got your share link. They didn't miss any random parts. So I think actually just the ease of the visual reward, and not really reward, but it is a reward, but it's like, oh, wait, I still have steps to be able to finish to be a full-fledged affiliate. I think is brilliant. So that's actually how I'm going to implement what you did. So thanks, Valerie, or I think it was Valerie, whoever it was.
Yeah, it was Valerie.
I'm losing everybody here in the mix.
No, I think it's absolutely genius, Ada, for your affiliate program, is onboarding them, getting their steps in. And this is the piece also tying back into Denise's, like as you're moving people through a course and they can cash in and get something or do whatever, you can use the same idea that Valerie was doing, is when they complete something, yes, I can use lock and unlocked feature in Kajabi. However, they can just bounce right over that. Like anybody figures that out, all you do is click. Like it's not a true, the door is locked type of a deal. But what is a really cool thing is letting them gather up codes, like a scavenger hunt. And I have done this many times in clients programs, especially for the onboarding, like the new customers, not so much the established ones. They have a different usual need for gamification, but the new people, as they're coming in, really cool ways to do that, both for in a lead magnet situation, because they can gather things up to get a special deal, or in an onboarding situation, if they're in, and we'll use Denise as an example real quick. So we'll go into the product part. But this can encourage them to complete lessons. You can, if you have prizes, you can, seriously, whatever it is, the behavior you want, there's ways to figure it out. So here you do have, like what Denise was mentioning, this lock feature. So I can lock this and it lets me say which post locks it in front of it. When this is completed, then the key gets entered and it gets unlocked. The other piece you can do is you can have it be published. We'll use this one. If we go in here, let's say for when they're booking their one-on-one with you, like they've unlocked all the lessons, what you can do, one way, is you can make I happen to use Acuity. So let's say I had an Acuity for a one-on-one with me that was normally $400. Well, as they finish lessons, they gather up the coupon codes that make the 100% off coupon code in for their one-on-one. So it also is letting them know the value of what they're getting. Denise likes this idea, I can tell. So when the post is completed, yes, lock and unlock works, but you can add another layer to it. You can add an anticipatory layer. So you can put in, congrats here's the first letter of your one-on-one coupon code equals A. You can obviously put in a message, make it look pretty, you know, like that. But as you go through your lessons, they can't get those until it, you know, they mark it as complete and it sends it to them via email. So they're gathering it up almost like, you know, I'm a scavenger hunt or I'm collecting my badges. You could even make the badge look, you know, the A look like a badge if you wanted to, because you're real fancy in Canva. But then when you go into, when you send them the link, hey, you can book your appointment. You've gathered up all your codes, enter that code in here. It also will immediately show them the value of what they've unlocked so that it has a stronger meaning, a stronger reward. You know, I'm sure there's other fancy words for it, but it just has a bigger wow factor. That's what I'm going with.
I love that idea, to remind them of the value of my one-on-one sessions and to be able to do that. That's really smart. I was already just thinking of putting a link in there to go to my calendar, but no, you're right. As they complete each module, they'll be triggered with an email with that first letter of the code, and then the second module completed, they get the second letter of the code, and then they get to see the value of what they're receiving. Really cool. Thank you.
So glad you like it. I call that the silver lining of all my continuing legal education, because you have to enter the code and they hide it in the middle of the most boring, epically boring training ever. You're like, crap, what was the code? Dear, gotta rewind it. The letter B is your code. Yes.
So you're giving them a letter each time that's going to equal the code at the end for a free training or a free, like maybe a bonus.
Yeah, it could be a bonus. In Denise's case, it's a one-on-one. It could give it to anything that's on an offer checkout page in Kajabi. Exactly. They're unlocking a bonus, an additional course, a one-on-one, a special Zoom call, a copy of your book, like whatever the behavior is that you're wanting to encourage along the way. Adding up those coupon codes, which is also an element of Survivor. You know, they got to do all those puzzles that spell a word and then they win, you know, hamburgers on day 32 or whatever it is. It's got that element in there too. Like, ooh, like I could use that to, you know, you can make it be a word, you can make it be random, whichever. Have fun with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yes, Colleen, I would absolutely consider the Mighty Network checklist gamification. They do a great job. For those of us that use Mighty Networks as a host, when they're onboarding you to help you get your network, you know, set up, they have it gamified. I'm only at 52%. So, but it's running just fine. So I'm not really worried about the extra 48% I apparently haven't finished yet. Let's see.
I had a comment about assessments while we're here, just a little bit of a side note that, you know, you can set assessments up for multiple choice, or you can do, in my case, what we did is they had to fill in essay type questions. About half of our students, if they pushed a back arrow or did something, either they got kicked out or it eliminated all the work that they did. And so some of them, about half, had to do everything all over again. So I wasn't aware of that until the complaints kept coming in. And obviously I'm not using that on the next go around, but I just wanted to give that as feedback if anybody else is doing essay type answers. I don't know if there's anything around that behind the scenes. I've never done an essay on Kajabi, so I didn't get that experience, but it didn't look good on our end as professional people, and we had a lot of professionals on the other end and who are busy people, and to have to spend another hour or two going back and redoing the whole exam didn't make me feel good. So I share that as hopefully helpful. Or if you, Tamsin, have any experience with that, or know if there's a correction around that. But
did you send it into Kajabi support?
I didn't, but I will, because
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't, because I if I'm going to do really long answers, I would do it in a Google form.
Right, and that's what we'll do going forward, but lesson learned. And I just thought I would share that to
No, that's
spearhead
perfect.
anybody else that might have been thinking that if you're not doing multiple choice, essay is, I didn't have a good experience with that. So
no, that's never fun when you have to redo your work, especially when you're like, dang it, that was a good answer. The heck did I just say? I mean, you don't want, it has the opposite. Yeah, there's a replay. I record them all. They're on, I will post the YouTube link. So thank you. Thank you for, I don't know who iPad 12 was, but thank you for being here. Okay, Sabrina had a great question, and let me get whiteboard in here, because this is another thing that you guys can do, especially those of you that might be running a virtual summit or an online, conference of any kind. Sabrina is doing something really genius in that she rents digital venue space. And so she builds virtual dashboards for people for their virtual events. It's amazing. Sabrina, if you want to put your site in the chat, people, I'm sure there's gonna be a couple people that would like to check it out. She actually has, you want to put the link in for Tika Talks too, Sabrina? She's got a cool one going on tonight that I put in Mighty Networks under events. But Sabrina's a PBK rock star, and
gather that in 1 second. Thanks.
Yeah. So her question was, do I have any thoughts if a person is on the dashboard, which means inside a product? So the virtual dashboard, when she's building them, is a product. There's so many genius ways to use Kajabi products, for sure. And so they're inside of a product, and they click on a link to visit a sponsor or coaching call. Can I use this to assign a badge? Sure can. So in the sidebar, the event person will put the sponsors. And so the sponsors, if you click the, but they're not in an email.
No.
Post would work. They'd have to be at the post level, Sabrina.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep, they'd have to be at the post level. You could have it in follow-up email sequences from the event of when they click on the sponsor link. So in the email, hold on, this isn't a total, not just two different ways. So in the email broadcast, I use EB to abbreviate for email broadcast. If you had the sponsor link, then you could use the automation when link is clicked, then send email and use Valerie. It's forever going to be named after you. Valerie's badges. Forever and always. Valerie's permanent now. But inside the post, you could use the when post is complete, like if there was a way to change, which you can because you're running it on a separate site, but when the post is complete, you could add a tag, you could send an email, so you could do something at the post level. But that would be a good one for us to brainstorm out. So yeah, you could totally put that in there.
I will play around with that one for sure, because gamification is a big question for events, and it's just a little hard to implement in Kajabi with on the spot, like as a live.
Yeah, absent, custom coding and things like that, which I'm sure people can get crazy fancy with. Bye, Ada. But yeah, I think there's ways that you could do it even in the pre-event emails, because they know who the sponsors are going into the event, that in the emails leading up to the event, you could also, when it's coming through the email broadcast portion, or you're sending it to, everyone that has the offer for that certain dashboard. Oh, bye, Rick. I think there's definitely ways we could play around with it. That
Yeah, I
could
have to think through that a little bit more.
That could be cool for sure. Because yeah, when you're Kate wants to know, can you use assessments as a North Pole? You can. In Kajabi, they'll have to enter their email, so it becomes your lead magnet. Assessments are not my favorite tool in Kajabi. Depending on what it is you're trying to do, Typeform, Google Form, other forms will make your life easier. There's times where it makes total sense and you can build it in there and it's easy. But at the moment, assessments is not my first go-to.
I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to figure out if I wanted to use a quiz of some kind as a North Pole.
Then I would use Interactor. If you're going to separate people or you're going to give results, and there's not Interactor, try Interact. There's a new video tool that I posted about in PBK, I think. It takes the Try Interact quiz and puts it on clickable video. It is freaking amazing. Like totally next level, works on mobile, works on screens. It's incredible. I will find the link. I will put it in like the main PBK community. I just got it a couple weeks ago because Todd Sisson, who's a PBKer, he mentioned it and broke my own rule because I really don't buy new tools or attend webinars or anything these days. And I took a look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, like it took quit and it's so easy. Like it's ridiculously easy. And as a North Pole to go into a lead magnet, I think it is ridiculous. It is, let me see if I can find it real quick. Vicky, did you have a question?
Yeah, no, are you talking about Interactor?
Yes.
Yeah, I had that right from the beginning. I haven't tried the latest version. Have you actually used it for real?
I've tested it. I have the Interactor.
Recently, it was great, but it failed a lot. If they've now got it working properly, that will be great.
It seems to be working really well now.
Yeah.
And I will grab just a second. Where is, yep, this is the link. Okay, so, because I know where the secret link is. When I bought it, I didn't know this secret link, so I paid $100 more. That is the link that they haven't taken down from their launch. It's $97 for a lifetime license. What is it? I will pass my secret savings on to all of you. Because I was like, I hate when companies do that. I hate it when you're like.
They will also, I mean, if you try it, they're one of those that sells through JVZoo and all the rest of it. And if you don't like it after a week or two, they will refund you. So. Yeah,
it seems to be cool. And it definitely seems like they fixed a lot of the bugs on.
When I've done some of this other stuff, I want to go back and do it again because I had some quizzes up using it, but it failed on so many things. But that was 18 months ago, so hopefully they've
got it. Yeah.
So Tamsin, you use this with Try Interact quizzes, is what you're saying?
I'm probably gonna ditch Try Interact. If this works, just because it's video and it's easier, I may, or they may continue to serve two different purposes. If I use it, it's definitely going to be on the should I try Kajabi end of my life and the I'm brand new, where should I start end of my life. So mine will be really forward facing, but as Coach Jenny and I have been brainstorming back and forth because she got it also. And it was like, oh, we could use it for this and we could use it for this. Like there's really cool ways behind the paywall that it was really, really exciting. So I have no doubt it's going to be a PBK intensive if more people start gobbling this up, because we'll all be like, okay, we've all got the quiz now, because it fits perfectly in North Pole to New York City framework in terms of where are people going? Okay, I want you to go this way. When you answer the question, it goes this way or that way. And I was telling Chris, my husband, the thought of building quizzes does not excite me. The thought of setting up the structure of the quiz, that I love. He loves finding video clips and images and all that like part. I was like, okay, we might actually make a really good team. I'll make the person's framework and you can actually make it look pretty. But I've only had it for a couple weeks, so I've just been messing around with it because, you know, I got other things going on in September. It's not allowed to be played with in September.
Unlike Interactor or those other quizzes, you can actually, if it's now working well, you can actually set up basically an interactive adventure, which is what you're doing for, it's what I used to publish back in the 80s, you see, so it was nice to see it in a video form you could do now. Yeah. Have you also, just before I stop interrupting, have you seen the Use Quantum, the quiz tool that was set up within Kajabi by Patrick Leddy?
I haven't.
That Quantum, if you search in the Facebook group, he has with a partner, they are setting up, and they have a beta version at the moment of something they call Quantum, which is a quiz tool, fairly templated, but the point is you set your quiz up in Kajabi. So you can make use of all the Kajabi tools. You don't have to then go via, I don't mean Zoom, what do I mean? What do I mean to link from one thing to another?
Zapier?
Thank you. I need to get to bed. So
we also play charades here on PBK Daily Lives.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just another, and I'm just about to publish a quiz, which is basically a which dog training course do you need on my site using Quantum. So, okay, that was it.
Yep. No, it's whenever you're, and Kate, I agree, when quizzes are great. The part that I have quickly learned, and you can tag, if you want to tag Jenny and PBK, feel free. She actually, in her master's program, did all of like those, the people that set up like all of the quizzes, like the big things in the world, like whatever those frameworks are. And I was like, oh, I have a quiz. And then I talked to Jenny. 5 minutes later, I realized, oh, I have a 6-month project before I have like a quiz that works. Like there's so many layers to it, just like with once I started reading about gamification. And like when she has her Hilda quiz, she's actually built in those different, I'm sure they're not core desires, but we'll use that terminology, that guide them through it, which is why her quiz has worked so incredibly well for her. And building out the quiz, you go, okay, yep, now it's working, and then leave it in place. So be like, okay, you know what? I'm choosing to go the quiz route, and I'm staying on that quiz route for the next 12 to 18 months, because it will take that long to refine it, to tweak it, to really leverage it. That it's, I mean, it's this, I mean, we talk about it all the time, North Pole, New York City, you got to commit to for 180 days or 180,000, whichever comes first. You got to keep that metric. So people are like, oh, you got to run webinars. Oh, you got to run a challenge. Oh, you got to do a quiz. Oh, I'm going to do a whatever. All of them have the potential to be amazingly great. And it's finding really what your people identify with in terms of, oh, yeah, a self-identify, quiz for which puppy course do I want makes a ton of sense. So yeah, I think quizzes are great. Can they be done in Kajabi? Yes. Would I do it with currently available tools? No, because the work is way more than it has to be using a different tool. So to me, it's just not worth the extra time and complication. Use something else, wait for assessments 2.0 to make it to, and go from there. Cool. Any other questions before we finish up today? And we can do another one of these. If there's like stuff you guys really want to talk through, we can totally do another one.
I have a question. I just wonder if I am missing any abilities Kajabi has to gamify my courses further. I don't know if you've heard of Experienceify. They are a gamification platform. They're in their beta and they're buggy. Otherwise, I think I would have gone with them because they have when you can assign points to certain behaviors, and then when they accomplish it, then a bar comes up and it says the points they just won and then the accumulation points. And I was trying to figure out a way that I could do something like that on Kajabi, and I haven't been able to figure it out. That, or I haven't been able to figure out a leaderboard that I would not have to like update every hour or something. So is there anything I am missing about the abilities of Kajabi to gamify what I have further?
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything, but there might be ways to bend it with using something that Zapier might have that could accomplish it. So if you want to shoot me a video or an email and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. Things always do best in my brain if they percolate for a little bit. And then you're like, oh, we could do this and this and this, and that would pop it up over here, here, here. So there might be something. And I think in the next couple of years, we will have more gamification coming from the Kajabi platform because they know how valuable it is. I mean, they gamify all. Top of my head, I'm not thinking that there's no big pothole I watch, you're like, oh, you're missing this big thing. I don't see anything like that. But send me a message and I might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, let's see if that works. I have no idea.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Valerie, you were the rock star today. I think everyone's going to be in Canva for the rest of the afternoon making badges. Oh my goodness. Anything else? Julie, thank you for this question. All right. Then we will wrap it up. I'm going to take 2 little kiddos to the playground. I'm sure I'll turn something into a game to get them to make their beds and stuff before we go. All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much. That was great.
You're welcome.